Salam mofos, welcome back to Happy Doomsday. Apologies for the wait. It's been hectic, but we are back. Here with the one, the only, again, with the great Johan. Talk to him, my guy.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. A bit of complications, but we're back.
We're back. That's my apologies. I'm running on my mum's laptop. It is a whole thing, but we are here. And we're grooving. Today we've got a special episode. No news today. We are talking strictly about one man. Who's that, Johan?
One of the greatest Black African American actors of all time.
Steve Martin.
Ooh! Mr. Denzel Washington. That's who we're gonna look at today.
Papa himself. So we are going to pop his movies into a tier list, okay? We are debating whether to do this based on performance or based on movie. I think we should do this based on the quality of the individual movie, just because then we can talk about the individual movies as opposed to keep talking about Denzel's performance. I think it gives us also more things to talk about. I need new blood for this shit. But yeah, and then it gives us more shit to talk about that way. All right. Let us do this.
I'm ready.
We are here. All right. Bro, you know what? Let's start off with the most recent one, yeah? Let's do Gladiator 2. Where are you putting Gladiator 2?
I'm pretty sure I kind of fell asleep. Anytime I fall asleep in the cinema, it's a bad film. So I'll give it like a C.
Okay, so let's first of all, let's sort of like go through each individual tier and what they mean to us, all right? I would say D, the world could have done without it.
Okay, that's harsh, but yeah.
The world could have done without it. C, not the best, not the worst.
Okay.
B, enjoyable, good. A, really good. And S, out of this world, one of the greatest movies ever.
Okay, but hold on. S has to be like amazing movie, out of this world performance.
Okay.
Because I don't think
It
any
has to be
film
both.
is the greatest film. Get me.
Okay, sweet. All right. Yeah, that's a good because here's the thing, we can have movies that are out of this world performances, but are not great movies or not movies I'll go back to. Because that's how I'll also judge it.
Mm-hmm.
On my sensibilities of how often will I go back and watch this movie? Or how much has this movie impacted me? And then the Denzel performance will push it as well. All right. So we're going with Gladiator 2. Where would you put it, you say?
I said I think it's a C.
I agree.
I think I think but it's a C because also Denzel's performance is just such a Denzel performance that like it's kind of entertaining to see him do his thing, but then when he's not on screen, I'm just
he is fun to watch. He's really fun to watch in this movie. Sometimes does feel kind of out of place, but we kind of knew this was going to happen. Oh, this shit's pissing me off.
Yeah, it is very out of place. Can't say. Can't lie.
So,
I don't know what happened between Gladiator 1 and Gladiator 2 because he's kind of just acting in his normal voice, and I don't
he's from
mind it.
Brooklyn, which is fine, and I appreciate him not wanting to like redo the whole bad accent thing. We get that, and I appreciate that. But I also think that like at the same time, everything else about that movie was not enjoyable. Other than Joseph Quinn, I thought Joseph Quinn was really good as well.
I think I don't know. I just think it was kind of identical to Gladiator 1, which I
Beat
kind of
by
didn't like.
beat, literally.
Yeah, it
Beat
was.
for
I felt like
beat.
I was watching a master of the first one, and I was like, "What?" I would just go watch the first one.
Would you
So,
not much rather have like watched the idea that like Russell Crowe talked about for Gladiator 2?
what did he say?
He was like, it follows his original character after he dies, he goes to hell, and his hell is he has to relive each individual war through history.
Oh wow,
I
that's
would
giving like
much rather watch that.
that sounds like God of War. That sounds like Kratos like sent back to.
That's how I want to see something. I want to see something different. Now we're doing one. This two. Don't make two just beat for beat. Number one with what's his name, Paul Mescal.
Yeah, no,
I'm not
definitely.
completely sold on yet, but that's not. We're not talking about him.
Like,
So yeah, Gladiator we'll put at C.
of
Okay.
course.
Next up, let's go. Let's go John Q. Now, have you seen John Q, Johan?
No.
Okay.
Sadly,
So
I'm
John
gonna say.
Q, Denzel plays a
Oh,
struggling dad.
I have. And he goes to the hospital.
Yeah, and he holds
You
up
have
the
to
hospital.
convince.
Yes, to pay
Yeah,
for
okay.
his son's
I've watched it too
suicide.
long ago though. I don't remember too much. So this is all you.
Okay.
So
This is by its definition a C. By its definition.
okay.
I think Denzel is great in it. I think the movie's okay, but I think Denzel is really good at it.
Okay.
Would you have any qualms against putting that in C?
Um no, no, no. No, no, I think that's fine.
All right.
As long as
We're
it's not
gonna
D.
put John Q in C. Okay. Mo Better Blues.
Um
Why don't you start us off?
I wanted to really like More Better Blues. I feel like I feel like you have like a what's the word? Like you almost have to kind of like a Spike Lee film. You have to almost appreciate it. I
Yeah.
feel like
Otherwise, you feel like a race traitor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would personally give it a B because I don't even think Denzel was like crazy. In fact, I'd give it a C because I don't think Denzel was
Nah,
crazy.
see, I would have given it an A. I love Mo Better
Really?
Blues. I really enjoyed Mo Better Blues. I think Denzel, I agree, it's not his most standout performance. It's not even his most standout Spike Lee performance, not even close. But I would not. So let's go B because I would have put it in A. Maybe that was overshooting. I think you putting it in C might be under sort of
So
representing
B.
it. I think B might be its rightful place. But you didn't
I
enjoy it as much as you wanted to.
no, I don't know. I feel like I was kind of trying to enjoy it while watching, like trying to find something I can hold on to, and it just never clicked. And I was like, okay, it's all right.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Next up, let's go with um Devil in a Blue Dress. Now I have not seen Devil in a Blue Dress. So Johan, take the wheel.
It is a noir film with Denzel Washington. It's kind of based in the black community and also like outside the black community in that era. I don't want to misquote the years, but I'd feel like it's the 1940s. Um, it's shot very strangely. It almost feels like this is gonna paint a different picture in your head. But what's that film with it's like a comic book film, and it's like
Sin
Sin
City.
City. Sin City. It almost feels a bit like that, tiny
Oh,
bit. So I'd give it like a C, just off that. I think
now I have no interest in seeing it.
Denzel is Denzel though. Like he's like the thing is his performance is better than More Better Blues in my opinion, but I feel like the films are at the same type of level for me.
All right,
Like
fair enough.
like a
Fair enough.
CB.
Okay.
Like
Glory.
I don't know
For
what's that.
me, all right, for me, let me
Yeah.
start us off on Glory, all right?
Mhm.
One of Denzel's best performances.
Oh wow. Oh, we got an Oscar for it, right?
Yeah, the glory.
Yeah.
That's not a crazy thing to say. Glory is definitely one of his best, but
Okay.
he's got a lot of bests. But I would say it's at least top 4 or 5.
Okay. So are we? Is that S or is that A?
No, but here's the thing: I
Okay.
only watch Glory once, and I only need to watch Glory once. Do you know what I mean? And because of that, and that's not necessarily a gripe on the film. It's just it doesn't have rewatchability, which is some movies don't need to have rewatchability. Like Fruitvale Station is incredible. I've only seen it once, and I don't want to watch it again. But it's amazing, and you don't need to see it. Like if you've seen it, you might get more appreciation from it. I get it, but there are some movies that take a toll, and you only need to watch it once. And Glory kind
Yeah.
of felt like that. So for that reason, I'll put it down in A. What would you
Okay.
say?
That sounds solid. I think along with that, it's an Oscar winner performance, so I feel like it
That's what I mean.
deserves.
But because of the Oscar, people would be inclined to put it in S. But I'm thinking just the movie in itself. It's not one of my favorite Denzel movies. Like not even top. Like if I'm rewatching a Denzel movie, it's not cracking my like top 10 things of what I'm thinking about watching. Do you know what I mean?
I heard. That's fine with me. He's fine with me.
But based on the performance, it has to be up there.
I feel like I need to watch that so I can have my own like because
Yeah,
we're
yeah, you should watch it. You should watch it. He is very good at it. He's very good in it. Speaking of being very good in it, let's talk Fences.
I've not watched it.
You've not seen Fences?
No.
It's low key my mom's like favorite movie. She loves that movie.
You know what it feels like?
It's a
For the
stage play. Don't get me wrong. It's not even a really. It's a movie, yes, but it's very much a stage play. He
it's one of
directed
those
it.
things where, like for the longest time, I never watched Titanic because I didn't feel like I needed to watch it because it's Titanic. Fences feels like another one of those films where it's like I've seen too many people speak about it. I've seen too many clips that it feels like I don't have to watch it. It's one of those films where I don't feel like I need to watch it. I've seen too many clips. I've seen too many like people have already criticized it too much. People have said the piece about it, but I will. That's a lie. I probably won't watch it, but I'd like to hear your opinion on it.
The performances again are incredible. Viola Davis is really good at it. She's maximum snot Viola. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Um, it's about basically like he's this garbage man, like living his everyday life, and it's like obviously his interactions with his two sons and all of that stuff, and then he finds out that he is knocked up a woman outside of his marriage, and it like causes a lot of introspective discussions between them in their
Is it based on
backyard.
his life?
What?
Is it based on his life?
Nah, it's a stage play. It's a known stage play.
Because he was a garbage man and he does have two sons.
Yeah. But it's based on a stage play. It's based on a stage play. James Earl Jones played it on Broadway before him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Denzel directed it, and it's not the hardest directing job because he just like most of it is just a two-shot, but the performances are great. I would put Fences in a B.
Okay.
I'd put Fences in a B. Okay. American Gangster.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, let me just do this real quick, one sec. I don't know about you, but I
Can I say
can't
something?
I can't have it anywhere lower. I'm sorry.
No, can I say something? Can I say something? Right.
Frank
The film
Lucas, boy.
is a good film. It's a great film. Okay. But here's why I don't think it's an S. There are, in my opinion, two films on this list, right, which are also great films and an incredible performance. I think American
Okay,
Gangster.
let's dive into this bit now. Okay, so let's debate about this.
Okay, go on. I think American Gangster is a great film and a good Denzel performance. I don't think it's a great Denzel performance. I can't lie. Like
Okay,
I feel like
why do
it's
you
like
not think it's a great Denzel performance?
because I feel like it's like any. Let me not say any, but like there's no standout moment where I'm like, oh my days, this is a Denzel's
I will
going
give
great.
you 6 standout moments in that
Yeah.
movie.
When?
Brother, first of all, when he was in that meeting in the diner, he was talking to my
Mhm.
man, and then he sees Idris Elba walk
Oh,
outside on the
okay,
window, and he just goes,
listen.
"One sec, my nigga." He just folds his napkin,
Yeah,
goes
okay, okay.
outside, talks to him. He's like, "What? You're gonna shoot me in broad daylight?" And he goes,
Yes.
bang, shoots him in the middle of the street, goes back into the diner. He's like, "Yeah, what were you saying?"
Okay, but listen.
That part. When he
That's
was
just a great
when he
scene.
was talking to Cuba Gooding Jr. in the club with the handlebars, that part. When he
It's a
was
great scene. It's not a great
when he
acting
pulled up to the
performance.
fight in the outfit, that part. What you mean, bro? I haven't even seen this movie
Again,
in years, and I can rattle off these amazing moments.
these are exactly these are great scenes. These are great vignettes. These are great parts of the film. But there's not a great like you're not like oh my
Okay,
days
when
he's
he when
bodying
he
Frank
got
Lucas.
when he okay, I'll give you. It is very overt. It's very bravado. Okay, it's easy to love. It is easy to love a
Yeah.
performance like Frank Lucas because it's so like he's playing the cool gangster. Do you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
he also does it in a way where we see that these moments of like his own mania taking over him and him sort of splitting against his inner circle and going and also like taking the fucking fact that he's like fucking up his own community by doing this. I think it's incredible, and the movie itself is so pushes it to an S as well because I
So can I ask a
just
question?
as a film, American Gangster is one of his best.
Does he embody Frank Lucas?
Yes,
No, he does not.
At what point did you think
Denzel. It's
that's Denzel?
Denzel.
Bro, Denzel was so easily like there are moments. Then American Gangster is one of those movies where I can easily dissociate and not think of that being Denzel.
American Gangster to me is that's a Denzel film. In fact, that's
No,
the Vince film about Frank Lucas. But like,
yeah,
I
but
don't.
that's also that. But that shouldn't be a negative.
Okay, this is a gangster film, right?
Yeah,
Right. Look at The Godfather. Okay, Al Pacino in Godfather Part One.
fuck. This
Okay,
is gonna be a
that
good point.
that
I
diner
knew this
scene.
is gonna be a good point.
Great
Fuck.
scene. Although it's a great scene, bro, Al Pacino is like you actually like you almost feel like like am I watching like a real interaction of a gangster meeting? With this, it's more just this is a really cool film. Denzel's going crazy, shooting, da 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 da. But he doesn't have that Pacino moment in this film where I'm like, Denzel, nah, what? Like it's not there.
So
And there
him
are other
shooting
films on the
Idris Elba
list.
in broad daylight didn't do it. But
No,
to be fair, that is a very good point. That is a good point because he in terms of like if you're comparing him to Michael Corleone, of course you can't. There's no comparison in that performance and in terms of like its subtlety, but yet it's still being literally the like heartbeat of that whole film.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and Denzel has performances like that, and it might not
Yeah,
be.
yeah, he does for sure. I just don't
Okay,
think it's a film.
but bro, I can't put it. But here's my issue with doing that though. Now, okay, let's go back to sharing the screen. Okay, because now look at this.
Mhm.
I, in good faith, cannot have it next to Glory.
I mean, I think A is still very certified
It is certified, but it's
because then you
okay.
have to think, what are we
Okay,
putting
I'll
in this?
compromise because that was a good argument. That was a good argument. I'll put it down there. All right, that's a good argument. I'll
Wait,
put it
wait,
down.
put it in front of Glory though. Like, let's not
All
have
right.
like in front of it.
So you
Let's
what?
like
Should we drop down Glory to B?
no, I didn't just put Glory to the right side of
Oh yeah,
America.
got you. That way.
We can't
Okay.
have it in front. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah, got you. Okay.
Alright.
Next up, let's do Antoine Fisher. Have you seen Antoine Fisher? Let me remind you. It's like I think he was like some form of army, navy, something like that, and he needed to like start doing therapy because he had a lash out or something. And then he goes through his whole life with this therapist, and Denzel plays the therapist, and it's like all about his like abuse growing up and all of that stuff.
That sounds actually pretty good.
It's good. The
I
movie
feel
is
like
good, but it's
Mhm.
again, it's not Denzel's movie.
Okay.
The movie is good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the movie. It's not Denzel's movie. It's I forgot the brother who he is that plays Antoine Fisher, and it's the actors that play young Antoine Fisher growing through his life. Because that's how they did it. So I would put it as a high C.
Okay.
I'd put it
Uh,
as a high C.
I won't argue against that.
All right. Next up, Equalizer.
Equalizer, like Equalizer is like I don't feel right putting it at B.
Me neither. I'm literally that's where my head was at. I'm like,
It has
it's
to be an
either
A.
B or C, but then with B, it's not as good as Fences or Mo Better Blues. And we're talking about all of the equalizers here. We're not going to go through one individually. This is just
Okay,
the
but I'm on the
equalizers
other
as
end.
a.
I'm on the other side because I was trying to say that it should be low A. Bro, that's my
Okay,
John
then it's
Wick.
B. Then it's B. Then that settles it. It's B. But nah, I honestly because it's fun. They're fun movies.
Mhm.
It's nowhere near the movie or the performance that Fences Mo Better Blues is.
But to be fair, that third one, the third Equalizer, when he sat outside that place in Italy, is it? And
Yeah.
he's speaking to the woman, that was like, oh, Denzel still got it. Like that was
Yeah,
crazy.
Denzel's always got it, but in those movies, it's like it's a different level. I'm not taking away from what Equalizer is because he's still an action star in his late 70s. Do you know what I mean? And that's why you got B. But no more, no mas.
Whatever, man.
All right, I
Hayden.
got an easy one. Yeah, have you seen He Got Game?
Um, no.
Okay,
I think I should. No, no, no.
Easy.
Oh wow. Okay. Out of the way.
Um, bruh, purely based on Ray Allen just being the most horrible actor I've ever seen in my life. I shoot the basketball.
Oh, is it one of those like celebrities in the
Yeah,
film?
they wanted to originally they want Kobe
Oh wow.
to play his son. Basically, it's the story of LeVar Ball, which could have been very interesting. But Ray Allen really ruins this movie. Um,
It's a shame. It's a shame.
yeah, it is. And I would have loved Kobe to do it, but he was like, nah, ain't got no time for that.
That I wish Kobe he got game right. If Kobe is one of those people like Tupac, where like the young version of themselves, they have this like mystical aura about them. That they don't even have to be a good actor, but just because they're there, you kind of fanboy out a little bit. And I feel like it's something to do with bald people, like young bald people. There's something to do because, bro, I don't understand it. I don't necessarily get it. But Kobe and Pac, they both have that same kind of energy where if I was to see them in a film, a young version of themselves, I'm gassed. I'm watching it. I'm already hooked. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I wish it would have been Kobe, and I also think he would have given it his all.
100%.
He would have
Because
given it his all. He
like,
understands the gravity of like starring in a Spike Lee film. Um,
yeah,
I think he would have done great. But I think it's just within his nature to not do it as well. So fair enough.
yeah.
All right. Next up is let us do the Manchurian Candidate. What do you
Kind of
say?
something like that. Sadly, so sadly, because I love Jonathan Demme. He has a film called Something Wild, which is incredible. It's so fun. Please watch it. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It is so fun and great, and like it's one of those films that inspire. You know, like how Pulp Fiction inspires you to start writing type of thing. Like it's one of those films that just get you out. So I thought this would have been great. Sadly, it is so like, huh? And I feel like Denzel is so restricted from actually acting because of the script. It's awful. I say all that to say I think it's a D.
It's a D. Okay. I'm not gonna fight you on that. I feel like
Please,
I've watched it. I don't know if I have. Can't remember it, so I'll give you a D. Sounds good. All right. Magnificent Seven. Have
that's
you
you.
seen Magnificent Seven? So I was really excited coming into Magnificent Seven as well. It's Antoine Fuqua. It is the cast was rounding out to be really cool. The original is a classic, of course. So coming out of it, I actually did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, because of the people involved, what it could have been.
Okay.
Denzel was also good, serviceable, good. But again, it feels like I don't know. It gives more.
Is it a Western?
Yeah, it's a western. It gives C. I'll be honest. It gives C.
Uh,
It gives a C. Middle of the ground C.
Denzel in a Western, I thought that would have been crazy.
I know.
Please, Tarantino, please.
I
Last
know.
one,
I'm so surprised that has not happened. How
Western,
has he not
please.
gone on his knees for Denzel? Because he would do so well with that dialogue.
Yeah, oh my days. Oh well. A man
Django
can.
was meant for Denzel in the 90s.
Yeah, if Denzel was still young, 110%.
Denzel would have been the best for her. Oh my god, he would have been the best Django ever.
And Jamie Foxx did his thing though. He did do his thing.
He
He did
did
his
do
thing.
his thing. No, he did do his thing. But yeah, yeah, it was Denzel would have been amazing. But yeah, Remember the Titans. I really like him. Remember the Titans. Denzel was amazing in it as well. Very inspiring as the coach. I love a good sports movie. Anyways,
Wait,
I would put it.
wait.
Huh?
I've got a question.
Shoot,
Coach Carter or Remember the
Coach
Titans?
Carr.
Okay, okay, okay.
Coach Carr.
Just so I can have like an idea of where that's
Yeah,
going.
no, Coach Carr.
Okay.
I'd put Coach Carter above it, but I would go. I don't want to just put it in C, but it's got to be in C.
Uh,
Yeah, it's got to be in C,
I
realistically.
have no problem.
All
No
right,
problem.
let's do something that's just going to be really easy, I would imagine.
Mhm.
Training Day. Let's go with the big one. Where were you putting Training Day?
That's S.
Okay, thank God. I thought we were going to debate. Let's
That is
talk about
10%
why
higher.
Training Day is an S. Okay.
But it,
The greatest Denzel performance.
literally.
Actually, I don't know.
Oh,
Joint or top two? Top two best Denzel.
it's top two. It's top two. The reason, but the funny thing is, it's such a good performance that honestly, if it wasn't Denzel, that film is a terrible film. The film actually isn't interesting, but because Denzel is in it, he makes every single like scene just incredible.
He
I
just
honestly do believe
radiates, bro. I've never seen someone just
it,
radiate in every single frame. Like it's
it's
you just want to be around this character from a distance, but you want to watch what he says, what he does next. Incredible. He's incredible in this movie, and he plays so well off of Ethan Hawke as well. It was Ethan Hawke, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, he played so well off of him as well. Um, and yeah, bro, he'd like improv half of that. Like, see, remember the scene at the end where he was like surrounded by everyone? He improv like half of that stuff when he got left for dead.
That's crazy.
Bro,
He's generally he's a genius. He's a star. He's genuinely the most talented like black actor, bro. Again, I don't know if you will agree, but generally, I think if it was anybody else in that role, the film would literally be boring.
it would be flat. Yeah, it would be
It
flat.
would just
It
look
would
like
be flat.
it's just another
It would
action type.
have to be. I would say it would have to be again somebody with as like magnetic as Denzel, which is like also impossible to find because then it becomes a different movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly,
Then it becomes Beverly Hills Cop.
exactly. Which
Because
is
you
why,
have to
like,
find someone as magnetic as Denzel. Then who else you got? Maybe Eddie. But then it becomes a different movie.
it's a whole different film, bro.
Yeah.
Denzel,
He
he
won
didn't
the
win it.
Oscar for it as well, right?
I thought he didn't win for this, but he won for something else.
He won for Glory. No, he didn't win for. Let's talk about what he didn't win for next, which I would put in S. Would you put in?
Oh no, he
Okay,
did. He won an Oscar. He did.
yeah, he won for Training Day.
It's right in there. This
Okay,
is
speaking about Oscars and what he didn't win for, let's just. You didn't win an Oscar, but hey, you got S on the tier list for Happy Doomsday, and I will debate this. But like, come on, you are you gonna debate this?
no, Malcolm X is S. I think one. Okay, I feel like now that I'm thinking of Denzel's career, I don't think Denzel has had many good scripts. Because I'm even thinking of Malcolm X. Malcolm X is another case of, bro, if it is not Denzel, I
That
can't
is
sit.
not true. I think that Malcolm X script is great,
No, no, okay.
bro.
Okay.
It's three
Second half,
hours. Did you
the
feel that? I
second
didn't
half,
feel it.
bro, the second half, incredible. That first half, come on.
Are you joking? I loved it when we were watching Malcolm Red do
It
his
was like,
thing,
what
bro.
was it trying to be? Was it trying to be like a Godfather coming
The
into
only thing, the only
making
thing
for this
about
guy?
Malcolm X, the only thing I will say about Malcolm X
The
is,
ending.
which is low key kind of cool, but it's also you remember when who did Spike play in that movie? Like his friend,
Yeah.
Shorty. What was his name? Shorty or something?
Mhm.
When it was him and Malcolm, and they were walking up to the club. Do you remember that walk they were doing?
Nah.
They did that specific walk. They were like,
Oh.
and they were just walking on the street. It's not like they were in the club. They were just walking towards it, and they were
Oh,
like, and I was like,
that
what the
film.
hell is happening here? But bro, how can you ever argue against a script where you honestly buy the transition from Malcolm Red to Malcolm X to Malcolm X in the Brotherhood, Malcolm X against the Brotherhood? Like,
Listen,
and in
the
the span of 3 hours, it did not feel like 3 hours, and
bro,
Denzel is
only good
unrecognizable. You
part.
don't even see Denzel no more.
No, but listen, yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. It's Denzel's best acting performance. I'll say that
Yeah,
first.
fair.
But that first half is like Mo Better Blues Denzel with a bit of the right thing, with a bit of like trying to be this gangster film, which it isn't. And then you realize that this whole gangster plot, whether how real it was or how true to the source it was so meaningless until that very point where
It
you
was
see him.
not meaningless though, because he needed to show you the progression of the man.
Which is why I'm saying I genuinely don't think he's had the best scripts for how good of an actor he is. Because I feel like for all his performances, I can always say if Denzel isn't in that film, I don't think the film would be good. I can't really say that about like an Al Pacino or a De Niro because they obviously are like incredible scripts. Goodfellas is an incredible script, but there is no film that Denzel has done which is even close to a script like Goodfellas. It is none, which is kind of sad, but also shows how great of an actor he is, that he's still been able to go above and
So would
beyond.
you okay? So would you say if like say Denzel didn't play Malcolm X, okay? Say Jeffrey Wright played Malcolm X,
Mhm.
okay? I know he played MLK, but let's just say he played Malcolm X. Do you think the movie is not as good as a result?
Yeah, the movie's way nowhere near as good.
Because Jeffrey Wright is not less talented as an actor. He's a different actor. Jeffrey
He's
Wright,
he's
some may
different
argue
actor.
he's a better actor because he's more of a chameleon than Denzel is. And it's not a bad thing. It's just different. Like Denzel is hired to be Denzel.
I think that's funny.
Huh?
Then Denzel has that funny side to him. That brother's starving. He has
No,
that.
Denzel is hilarious, but that's what I'm saying is that if you hire, it's like when you hire Will Smith or when you hire Adam Sandler, whatever, you're hiring these people because you want that person for that character. You want their characteristics for that character. But a Jeffrey Wright can play anything.
Listen, if Jeffrey Wright was in this film, it wouldn't be nearly as good. Not because of who Jeffrey Wright is. It's just
It's
that,
just the lack of magnetism that
yeah,
Denzel,
and
by
again,
definition,
in the
brings to it.
second half of the film, you genuinely don't even think that you're watching Denzel anymore. It's like it is
You
Malcolm X.
forget.
Like,
It's insane.
bro, when he has that gun and he's looking out the window, I thought it was a picture. I was like,
The
oh,
low
okay.
key though, they got it wrong. He was low key. He was in. He was like they had him. Did they not have him in his suit in the gun in his house? Like he was not wearing
Yeah.
the.
Oh, wasn't he wearing a vest?
He was wearing the robe and the vest and the underwear.
Yeah. But
But they got.
still,
But in the movie, they all had him wearing the suit. You know,
really,
Malcolm X is the only film that was ever permitted to shoot in Mecca.
really.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Oh wow. First. I was surprised when watching it that
bro. Non-Muslims are not allowed in Mecca. That, but they were like, "Oh, Spike and Denzel, come along, man, come along."
it's interesting though because I was surprised that this film was kind of made because
It was a struggle to get made though. Like it was all independently financed.
even like for it to be mainstream was just interesting because like first of all we have the American flag like getting burned. Then we have closer to the end the kind of speech about how Malcolm X is like a good man and we need to remember people like this and it's just like I'm
Even by
surprised.
definition, Malcolm X is polarizing to middle America. He's not
Mm,
MLK. MLK is so much more palatable to them.
yeah, which is why I was like, wow, this was actually made. Like one thing I hate.
But it was made not because people financed. It was made because like Spike
Yeah.
Lee begged a bunch of rich black people to pay to give him the money for it.
Mm. What
You
can I
know, it
say?
was financed by like Sidney Poitier and like Oprah and like Bill Cosby.
Sidney Poitier is Loki. Let me not speak about him. But
Is
yeah.
Loki what? Now I want to hear what you got to say. I know
But I
you're
saw
going to
some
disrespect my
interview.
man now.
But I saw some interview. That guy Loki hated black people. He was
Probably. He was cooling it up for time. He's a very good actor, though.
a very good actor, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. He was acting back then. Let me see what he was like, bro. The first interview, he was like going in on black women. I was like, yo, I thought he was one of the brothers. But
Nah, bro,
hey,
you can't trust no actors, bro. It's the comedians you can trust. Bill Cosby aside.
but
Bill
quickly,
Cosby aside. But you got Paul Mooney. Them man were trailblazers, bro. To be
one,
fair, Bill Cosby did pay for the podium that MLK spoke at.
did he?
Yeah.
First.
So black comedians been doing it for time.
But can you be honest, right?
Shoot.
The ending of that film is the
Yeah.
worst ending ever.
How did it end again?
Oh my days. All the black kids in school. I'm Malcolm X. I'm Malcolm X. I'm Malcolm X. And then Nelson
Oh
Mandela.
yeah.
Oh no.
It's like that Nas song. What's the Nas song?
Which one?
It's like the I know I can, I know
Yeah.
You what I wanna be. You what I wanna be. If I work hard at it, if I work hard at it, I'll be where I wanna be.
Oh my God.
um,
Nelson Mandela comes out of nowhere and is like, he was a good man. I'm
he
like,
was a
bro,
good
what
man.
is this? Like, oh, I genuinely feel like that. It's
What
such
do
a
you say? Do you think he's the best person to ever portray Malcolm X?
Denzel,
Yeah.
100%.
Have you seen other portrayals of Malcolm X?
I don't have to see other portrayals of Malcolm X. Brother, I don't think you understand. Like I said, the second half of the film makes up for so much because I genuinely forgot.
Have you seen One Night in Miami?
Um, let me have a
Regina
quick
King
look.
directed it. It's basically it's like about what would have happened on the night that Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, and Muhammad Ali were all in a room together. Like because they were there for like after Ali's one of Ali's fights, and they sat down and talked. And the movie is about what that talk would have been like. And you know Kingsley Benedict,
Hmm.
the guy who's super hot right now.
I'll give it a watch.
He played
But
Malcolm X, yeah, and
Mhm.
yo, he was so good.
Better
It's
than
not.
Denzel.
Here's the thing: it's Denzel had 3 hours, and Denzel had the benefit of being Denzel, but he was very, very good as Malcolm X. Everyone in that movie is really, really good as well.
Mhm. I just can't believe you like you don't see the whole like Denzel's never had a good script. Like
I disagree. I disagree. I
Malcolm
disagree.
X is not a good script, like, bro. If you
Malcolm
really
X is a good
sit down
script.
with Malcolm X, if you
Malcolm
really
X
sit
is
down
a
with
good
Malcolm X,
script. By
if you really,
definition, if you can, I'm sorry, yeah, by definition, if you can pull off a character progression like Malcolm Little to Malcolm X to his beef with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, okay, if you can make that transition believable, that's a by definition well written.
okay, so you know Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
Do you think that's a good script?
no,
But the 3 hour film is still good, right? Like you still
yeah,
watched
I
it.
enjoyed the movie.
Okay, and I think that's the
I don't
same.
think by the way, yeah, I say this like I can fucking write Killers of the Flower, Killers of the Flower Moon, yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad script. I just think I would have approached it in a different way. Okay. The whole story in itself, I would have approached it in a
But there's
different
no
way.
way you don't.
And I
How do you
also
not?
think you could have cut at least a third of that fucking script and make the
It's
entire thing
about
still make sense.
X, bro. That
Not
beginning,
here though. Not here. Not with
that
this.
beginning. Okay, listen. That beginning, right? The only thing I'd keep was obviously the hair, the Malcolm X's hair when he first gets it texturized. I understand that. That's important because then in the prison he changes it. Blah blah blah. There's
That's
a
like the
random
first scene, bro.
there's a random flashback to where his face is on the ground and like a train comes. There's a random flashback to like it's trying to be. It almost doesn't know what the film wants to be. It's almost trying to be like mystical David Lynch kind of. Then it's trying to
But
be no,
that's
we're
it
trying to
is
be
very
Godfather.
it's like but it's representation of the time he was in. He was a
But then,
confused young
but
man in those kind of scenarios, in those issues, and it
lazy,
shows the
lazy
progression. And it
writing.
also shows how well directed that thing is because first of all, it didn't feel like 3 hours, like we said, but also it tonally still. I honestly didn't was not taken out by the first half and the transition into that second half. I don't know,
It
maybe
gets
it hit you differently, but I still think
before
that movie is a very well made movie, and I
the
think
film gets
Spike Lee
really
couldn't have
good.
done a better job.
The film gets really, really good once he gets into prison. Finally, once I don't have to see
But
that
that's not
whole.
even halfway through. That's like a third.
No, no, that's the midway point. Because remember, that's the he's messing about with that gangster
That's
guy,
like,
which
but that's like the start of the second act. The start of the second act is not the midway point.
okay, wherever the start of the second act is, right?
Okay,
When he gets
so you're saying the
wait,
first
wait,
third of the movie you didn't enjoy.
wait, the first one I didn't enjoy. The start of the prison part was mediocre until he meets the guy about Elijah Muhammad, blah 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 blah. Then when he's back out and he's Malcolm X and he's preaching, he's really out here. He's the white woman comes up
The
to him and says,
prison
"What
thing
can
though
you do for
is
the country?" And he
prison.
says
He's
to
in
the white
prison for
woman,
2 scenes.
and then when he says to the white woman, "Nothing," walks away, bro. That is when the film gets
Nah,
real.
but that's when you're getting into the highlights though. That's like saying, "Oh, I enjoyed the Kobe fucking biopic when he won the championship." I'm like, yeah, obviously. So when he scored the 60 points, like yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
but you also need to see Kobe in Italy and Germany. Do you know what I mean? And it might not
what's
feel like the
the
same movie, but if it feels like the progression works and there's a tonal consistency there, which I'm guessing you didn't get and I felt, then we might
okay,
differ there.
okay, let me
But
say this.
you can't inherently say it's a bad script.
And even but bro, even the whole part when they're in Mecca and he's having that narrative thing and we're kind of seeing documentary, even that made sense. That was good. That was incredible. I think okay,
Incredible filmmaking.
okay,
Spike Lee is actually such a goat. Like, what are we gonna do when he's gone?
okay, listen. Wolf of Wall Street, right? Let's forget the idea of like the capitalist idea and who Leo plays. Let's just look at the script for itself, like how the film
Stella,
progresses.
Stella,
Amazing, right?
Stella.
I think, although I like, I don't agree with. I have my own problems with Martin Scorsese and Wolf of Wall Street. The way it
What are your
progresses,
problems with Martin Scorsese and Wolf of Wall Street?
I think it's a glorification of the exact thing he's trying to criticize, and I
But
don't
that's
think he.
every Martin Scorsese movie.
But
That's
okay,
the
but
point, though. You're
it's lies.
glorifying the up, but then the down is people don't remember the down. That's a point on society. That ain't his fucking problem.
There is no down in that film.
Yes, there is. He
There
lit.
is no down in that film.
There is.
If being down in that film is being addicted to drugs and still getting to do drugs, still getting to go to a nice prison where you can play tennis every day. You just lost Margot Robbie. Oh golly, that's the down of the film. He doesn't have Margot Robbie anymore. Like, come on, bro. And
Well,
then at the
listen,
end of the
but
film, can I
the
tell
truth
you the
is, yeah.
time?
Listen,
Can
but
I
the
tell
truth
you the
is,
time?
sometimes good guys fucking lose and bad guys sometimes end up. That's the way of the world, bro.
That's the way of the world, but it's glorification. But what I wanted to say was quickly
Yeah.
is that like okay, the progression in Wolf of Wall Street makes sense. It knows what the film is trying to be from the beginning. It's not trying to like be all these different things and then not fulfilling
Yeah,
it. It
but
knows
because
what it wants
he's
to be. Malcolm X at the start, I was like, oh, first I was surprised. I was like, oh, this is the film. I thought it was going to be more like, I don't know. I was kind of
yeah.
surprised. I was like, okay, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. And then it gets to what I thought the film was going to be, and I was like, well, that's just bad writing.
That's Jordan Belfort and Malcolm Red are inherently two different characters at the start of the film.
That's what I'm saying.
Jordan Belfort started the film wanting to get into Wall Street.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Let's not judge the characters per se. I'm on about the progression of
But
where
that's what I'm saying, bro. The progression of Jordan Belfort was a man starting off wanting to be in Wall Street. The progression of Malcolm Red was a street rat.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're already starting off with, firstly, you're saying Wolf of Wall Street knew what it wanted to be from the beginning. I'm not going to deny that Wolf of Wall Street is a better made film than Malcolm X, okay? But what I will say is that the character progression of Jordan Belfort is less of a harsh one because he started wanting to be in Wall Street. The film starts off in the stimulus he already wants in anyways.
I found the example.
Go
I
on,
found
Andy.
it. I found it. I found it. I hear what you're saying. I found the example. Okay. Have you watched Once Upon a Time in America?
Nah. Wait,
If you
is that the De Niro Capone one?
yes.
Yeah.
Now we see De Niro from a kid all the way to De Niro as a like in his
I
60s,
get what you're
70s.
saying, but it's nowhere near as
That
stark of a
is
progression.
that is perfection to still somehow manage to show this kid who's just landed in New York as a kid and now to show him going through the world and how he changes. Da, 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 da. You could even say the same for Godfather Part 2, okay, where it's a mirrored. So we have
Again, though, all of them are, but none of them are a stark of a difference between two people who are literally complete opposite ideologies by the end of the film.
no, they do. De Niro
But they're
literally
still in the
regrets.
same. But here's the thing: even De Niro in Godfather 2, yeah, he was
Mhm.
always in Little Italy. Okay, the movie starts off with him being in moving over to from Italy to America,
Yes.
right? But like the last name was Corleone because that's where he's from, or Colonia, whatever. And he
Mhm.
starts off as this nice young man who's helpful and all that stuff, and he ends up becoming Vito, like the Vito we know.
Turn into a demon. It's the opposite of what Malcolm X is. But what I'm saying is, if you want to do that whole past thing, then that's the way you could do it. You could
I
also
get
still.
that, but you have to realize that Vito Corleone was still subjugated to his surroundings.
And so was
Malcolm X
Malcolm X.
elevated was elevated, moved past his own surroundings. So you're
He
talking about this
wasn't.
big tonal shift. I'm like, his life was a big tonal shift.
Okay, so Malcolm X, his actual story is separate from the film. Because from the film, we see Malcolm X growing up as this black kid who kind of is just like every other black kid.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not different. That's the same as Godfather 2. De Niro comes to Italy like every other Italian kid. He doesn't know what to do. All he sees is his friends stealing things, so he follows them. Malcolm
Yes,
X
but
doesn't know what to
even
do.
from
All
the
he sees
start, though, De
is
Niro
different.
showed traits of the honorable, like, man that Vito is. Do you know what I mean? Being by the book, that respect thing, all of that stuff was things very early on in Vito's life that was there,
Yeah, but
and
I'm
you
saying
saw
the
his
same,
progression again within his own community.
bro.
This nigga went from being on the streets of Brooklyn or wherever the hell he was to literally in Saudi. And you're like, oh, it's too much of a transition. Like, obviously,
No,
bro,
no, oh,
because
no, no, no,
literally,
no. My thing is not that it's too much of a transition. My way is how it's handled. The entire chronological of this entire
but there's
film
no way of handling that where it doesn't feel like a big shift, though.
is honestly, I think if
Well,
Scott
I feel like we'll agree to this. My thing is, we're still arguing, but we put it in S. Like,
S, but it has its problems. That's why I
fair enough,
honestly
and
feel
you
like
can, and
Spike
you
Lee
can,
was
and
to
you
just
can, and you can
maybe
argue that.
if Spike Lee was just to maybe I don't know, maybe spend more time on that first part
Okay,
of
question.
his
So, do you
book.
think if I don't know, maybe a Ryan Coogler and Ava DuVernay did
Mhm.
Malcolm X, it would have been a better film? They could have made a better film.
I think okay,
Do you think
here,
Spike Lee was the right person to direct
here,
Malcolm X? That's my
here,
question.
hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. Spike Lee okay, right. If Ryan was to do it now, okay, because the idea we have a modern cinema, we already have all those things to kind of look back on, and then of how to structure the film. So we can look back on Godfather 2, we can look back on
Yeah,
Malcolm
but
X.
The Godfather, Malcolm X came out in like the 90s. There was still a lot of things to draw back from.
It's true, but I feel like Spike Lee, when you watch his films, they're still very aged. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. You watch Do the Right Thing, you can tell it's from the like. It's not like
Yeah, it's
oh, this
very
is
much of the time it's made. Yeah.
the product of its time. And I think that's what holds a lot of Spike Lee films back when we watch them now, grown. Because I it's like I can always watch Goodfellas, right?
But
I can
you know
always watch
what
movies because there's a
Black,
thing of it where it's like it's ahead of its time. I can't do the same with Spike Lee. I have to almost be like, let me put myself into that time and kind of just, oh, I can pass that little
but
era
I don't
because
see that as a negative sometimes. Sometimes I see that as this feels like a piece of a moment in that time. I
nah.
don't like do the right thing. I don't have to readjust. It's not like I have to like let me readjust my like
Well,
things,
okay,
my
that's because it's
thinking.
his best film. It's his best
I
film
don't.
because
I
it's most
disagree. I also don't think Do the Right. Yes, Do the Right Thing is his best film, but I think his best made film. I think his best made film, and I also think the fact that it came out more recent, so it doesn't get the love. But Black Klansman is a superb movie.
great film. But see, like
Superb.
that's a great
That's his
film.
best script and his most like well directed film, I think.
And that's because, like, again, I feel like he stopped trying to bound himself to a specific time. Like, the film can breathe, and the film can be watched 20 years from now. The film can be watched 50 years from now because
But
it's actually.
sometimes films act as a moment of history, though. That's a good thing. Like, Do the Right Thing is the
What's a
perfect
film?
epitome of that time.
Okay, but what's a
And it
film?
hit at the time of the culture. Like, obviously, it didn't have the impact. Black Klansman didn't have that same impact because it didn't, like, the culture and the time and all that stuff coming together with Do the Right Thing and Spike coming out for the first time. But, fucking hell, we got rid of another link already. All right, let's speed through this last couple ones.
We need to go back in that point, by the way, because we need to go back in that point because
What
I
was
feel
the
like that's just my one slight little problem with Spike Lee, and I feel like I also kind of feel so bad, but like it's just genuinely how I feel.
That's fair. That's fair. No, that's fair. So you think that it so because obviously Spike had to be the best director at the time because we got Denzel as a result. Like obviously if like a Ryan Coogler or Ava did it now, they wouldn't have the Denzel to do it. But I would say like I don't know. I think
Well, I feel like the black community is different. I feel like you don't kind of have to be the best for. I feel like we'll support because there's not a lot of us anyway.
yeah,
That Denzel will just do it because it's also to make a Malcolm X film. That's a big thing for the black
that's a
community.
big thing, and I think Spike was the person to do it.
think he is the person to do it. I don't know anyone else
It's.
can
I
do it.
also think how like Ryan Coogler was also the perfect person to do Black Panther. I think it's the
Yeah,
same thing.
I hear it.
Oh, I hate this. Can
Right,
we
right.
talk about the revisionary history of people hating on Black Panther?
Hey man, we're in a different time now. We're in a
All
complete
right,
different culture
Preacher's
now.
Wife. I got so much love for Preacher's Wife. It's Denzel kind of flexing comedy a little bit. We got Whitney Houston in there. Whitney Houston trying to cheat on her husband with an angel. We all wanted it to happen. It didn't end up happening, but it's got its fun moments. It is a fun movie. It's not the best. I would argue low B, but it's not Fences or Mo Better Blues, so I would go high C.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
And Man on Fire. I've actually never seen Man on Fire.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It's
I'm lacking on that one. It's a hole. It's a hole. I'll fill it up at some
who
point.
directed it? It's someone big that directed it. I
Oliver
forgot.
Stone, no?
It might be. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Man on Fire is like a traditional action film in the 2000s. If you have that niche for those type of action films, it's
I
a
do
B.
kind of have some love for that. Like, you know what? Like those you know what reminded me of that? Like the remember like White House Down and all that stuff.
White House Down, the films like that. Yeah, literally. So I'd give it a B because it's just like
B. If we're giving that a B, then Preacher's Wife is a B. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that, girl.
I don't know about that. All right, we'll bring it a B then. But Equalizer, you're putting Equalizer as a B as well. Yeah, actually, I'm not mad at this list. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Okay, and then what we got left is I can't even read this, cuz
Fallen.
the Fallen. Yeah, where are
Yeah.
you putting the Fallen?
Um, it has a twist which I actually didn't expect, but also the twist wasn't as powerful. So I'd give that film a B as well. It was like an
B.
interesting
You're
watch.
being
Yeah,
liberal with these Bs. I've not seen this, but I don't know. But you're being very liberal with this B right now. I feel
better than every single thing in C right now. I can promise you that.
it's better than Gladiator 2.
100% better than Gladiator 2.
Okay, first.
110%.
Okay, well that's our tier list.
There's
Boom.
one
So
more
we've got.
there's one more taking of
Oh yeah,
Pelham.
yeah, oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3.
That's a C.
That's a
That's easy.
C. Boom.
That's a C.
Then that's our list. That was fun. I actually think Samuel L. Jackson, which we're gonna do next, is gonna be really, really fun.
That's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna
Because
be
this so
crazy.
many films.
But yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think of the list so far? We got Training Day, Malcolm X as S. Then we got American Gangster and Glory in the second tier. Then we got Mo Better Blues, Fences, The Equalizer films, Man on Fire, and Fallen in B. We've got Preacher's Wife, Gladiator 2, Antoine Fisher, Magnificent Seven, John Q, Remember the Titans, Devil in the Blue Dress, and Pelham 1, 2, 3 in C. Honestly, I think Remember the Titans might have to go to B.
But I'm fine with that, honestly.
Yeah, I think it might have to go.
I did think he was being a bit harsh when he said C. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm putting it in B. I'm right putting it in B. It didn't feel right being there. And then He Got Game and the Manchurian Candidate in
okay.
D.
Well, if we're putting Remember the Titans in B, I don't feel like the Manchurian Candidate should be D.
Really?
Give me like a C, maybe then.
Okay, we'll put C. But there's too
Yeah.
many in C. Nah. It's staying. There's too many in
Okay.
C. There's too many in C. It's staying. It's staying.
But I'm happy with that.
I'll approve. I approve. All right, my
Yeah.
dog. With 5 minutes to spare.
S tier was
Next time
definitely.
we'll do Sam. Low key. What time? Wait. What's the time now? 12:45. Now, I was gonna say I'd be down to just do it now, but
I'd do it now as well. I feel like we're gonna. The only thing is, we may be here. It may be like a 2 episode because there actually is so
because there's
many.
so much to get through with this nigga. One sec, my light went off.
Yeah, there'll be
Yeah,
so
there's
many.
so much to get through with Sam Jackson.
We should do a director next.
I know, but I think with the directors, it's again. I think there'll be two. It'll be like too much B's and C's and or too much A's and B's.
Yeah, but I feel like if we did like David Fincher, right? He has not too many films, but enough to rate. I thought that's great. Like he has
But
like
I also think, would you fuck off? What David Fincher film would you put in D?
if we're doing all of David Fincher films, probably like Panic Room, right?
I haven't even seen it, bro.
Like there you go. Then
But like
there's a
to be
reason.
like that's the thing with David Fincher though.
Oh no,
I put a
Alien,
lot in
Alien,
S. Like I'd
Alien.
have a problem not putting like at least Social Network, Fight Club, and Seven in S. Oh yeah, you wouldn't put any of them in S, innit?
I'd put Zodiac in S, Fight Club in S,
I would put Zodiac in just a notch below them.
and then all the other ones that you said they're like
Now
A's.
Zodiac's like Gone Girl.
No, that's so disrespectful.
How is it? How is it? Gone Girl's
Zodiac is
incredible as well.
incredible. That's so. Oh my days. Gone
Nah,
Girl's
that is not
good.
disrespectful at all, bro.
Gone Girl's good, but come on, Zodiac is actually like that's an American film right there.
That's an American film right there. You know what Zodiac to me is?
Go on.
It's Robert Downey Jr.'s audition for Iron Man. That's all it was for him.
Oh my gosh.
He literally did that so he could. He literally played that role that way so that people see him as Iron Man for the audition.
I guess it worked. But honestly,
Yeah.
Zodiac's a great film. Zodiac's a 10/10 in my opinion. It's genuinely like
I've
a
only seen it once, but I really enjoyed it watching it. And it gave a different Jake Gyllenhaal that I'm used to. He was very like reserved, nerdy. I didn't
it
really.
also has one of the most I don't know how to say like one of the deaths in that film. I think every single killing in that film is so I think because it's
I
shot
think
so
the
fast.
problem with Zodiac, and it's not their fault, but the
Mhm.
problem with Zodiac is that it does end very like. Wah, wah. Do you know what I mean?
I, f- I
You know what
hear
I
it, but
mean? Like
like
Seven, and because that's the nature of adapting a true story.
yeah, that's
Seven
what I say. Like
ended
they
like beautifully. Do you know what I mean? But Zodiac, it was just like, so that's who we thought it was.
my opinion, I'd say that because I'm not a fan of Seven. I'd say that Seven's ending is so stupid, and like I feel like for
You're
me,
not the first person to
bro,
say that to me, by the way, as well. I
bro,
remember I showed it to someone for the first time who's never seen Seven, and she said the exact same. She was like,
bro,
"This
someone
movie
like
dumb."
again, someone told me to watch Seven, like it was crazy, da da da. So I went in and I was watching. Then the end came, I was like, is that it? So all this seven deadly sins was just, bro, that is so silly. And I get people are like, it's the craziest. What's in the box? What's in the box, bro? I was never at one point like, what's in the box? I was like
You
what?
never at one point actually curious. You
No,
knew.
I wasn't. I actually didn't care. I was like, what? So all of this was just
I
for.
also think it's because of Gwyneth Paltrow. Fuck Gwyneth Paltrow. She's just the most annoying human. Ugh. Anyways, that's the end of the episode. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for watching. You next time we will be doing the news and we will be doing Samuel L. Jackson. Inshallah.
Yes, sir.
Peace, love, and unity.